Colossal Caves.
We're gonna have to climb.
I'm following you. Spectacular view from up here. You can even sluice for gold here.
Yep. And then right above where the coati sleep, there's going to be all this black shiny stuff. That is going to be bat guano. So we have about 7 different species of bats here. You may or may not see any today. Every time I say you won't see any, then some come out. Our cave stays at 71 degrees all year round, so that's just a little bit too warm for them to hibernate in. We do have 5 species that go up north for that, but then we do have 2 species that are nectar feeding species, and they actually go down to Mexico, so they follow all of the saguaro and the agave blooms. Come April, May, they'll all meet back here at Colossal Cave until about mid-October. Stop it. I honestly haven't seen any in a while, so. We had some coatis in here yesterday, and that's when I was like, hold your fire. Actually, so this is all going to be man-made damage. We have been drying out for the past 10 to 12,000 years, collecting lots of dust and lots of dirt. But if water were to make its way back into the cave, all of these stalactites would be really pretty, really shiny, really sparkly. That is because the calcite crystal from underneath would be exposed. This one right here is a stalagmite. You can remember that because you might trip over them. So they grow up. This one's name is Old Baldy, and he's been giving people luck for a really long time. You guys probably saw me. When a stalactite and a stalagmite form together, those are called columns. So all these guys on the left, they kind of look like pillars. Some back behind here as well. And right above me, this is our largest stalactite that we have in the entire cave system. His name is Fang, and he weighs about 2 tons. So that means if you bump into him, he's not gonna move. So everyone just watch out for Fang as we are continuing on. And they are very opinionated, and it's funny because when they are here, this is actually one of their favorite rooms, and they'll be roosting right above this area. You can tell because there's a lot of bat guano out there. But also, they just, like, especially if it's like the first tour in the morning, they'll start like squeaking, and then I feel bad because I'm like, sorry, I woke you guys up. But yeah, the Myotis bats make the most noise usually, so. This room we call our drapery room. Oh, another cool fact about the Myotis bats before I get off that subject. They can actually eat up to 600 mosquitoes in 1 hour.
We like them.
Yes, they're a great bat. I knew I was leaving something awesome
like
out.
them.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this room is our drapery room. We call it that because of this formation right here. When water drips at an angle and calcite builds on top of each other in thin layers, this is the outcome of that. If you guys come that to this day, scientists aren't sure why they form that way. So they're pretty cool.
Very cool.
Back in 1923.
So they did almost all the work way back then?
Yep, 1934. It took them 4 years, so they were done by 1938. So pretty impressive, isn't it? We have some, if you were ever to get lost in the cave, Her nose actually points out to the entrance, so she would show you where to go. Also, this is her cat, Shadow.
Wow.
And Mr. Magoo, here's his sunken in eye, nose, and he's drinking some coffee. We have a lot of fun formations in here, so don't worry, I will point all of them out. This next area that we're gonna go to, this vertical room that we have in the entire cave system. This boulder slipped about 25 feet a really long time ago from the drapery room that we were just in. We're pretty confident it's not going to move anymore. Creating these fault lines. Coming down from those fault lines. So we would all be underwater right now. And then if you guys kind of want to squeeze on in, right up here is going to be our largest stalagmite that we have in the entire cave system. This room is also known as our altar room. So back when the CCC was here, if they met someone and they wanted to get married, they would actually do it in this room right up here. It holds 8 people, and we do still offer weddings there to this day. We do make you wear a hard hat and a headlamp. Actually not a horror movie at all. It is a Sesame Street movie. So Big Bird, Cookie Monster, the whole gang comes down here looking for lost treasure, which is really just birds eating cookies. They run into our cave T-Rex. Here's his eye, brow, nose, mouth. So Cookie Monster gets so scared he runs off that way. And then Big Bird crashes into this wall.
Cute.
So luckily for Big Bird, everything they were looking for was right on the other side of that wall, so it worked out. That is also coffee and beer. Very important. Back in the early 1900s, like we have today, instead they would just use a regular cloth cap, attach a carbide lamp to it, and that works similar to a blowtorch. So you're thinking you have a blowtorch attached to your head, climbing up and down a rope, not super safe. But remember, 75% of them had to go home to a beneficiary.
Oh, is that because if they die or something?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, back during the Great Depression and when the CCC was putting in all these floors and stairs and such, they did not use any explosives. They did use hand tools only, but the wheel on that wheelbarrow alone weighs about 60 pounds. We were still able to see the stitching from their clothing. There was another one, and they aren't really sure how he died. They don't know if he walked in and got lost.
The domino staircase. And we didn't knock anybody down.
Get him next time.
I was just telling them that's called cave ice. Dry caves pretty much all have it. But yeah, so this whole area would have been a very still pond. Calcite builds on top of that water, and then when the dirt layers from all that dust and good stuff, that is actually the outcome. So it's called cave ice. Another good
It was very slippery.
word for cave ice is false floor. So keep that in mind. We have propped rocks up under this specific area, so you guys are good. But you can see right here, this is like on these edges. People or kids sometimes will step on it, and it is known to break off. But all where you guys are standing is perfectly stable, so don't worry. Frank Schmidt and his family used to live in what is now our souvenir shop. Again, back in the early 1900s, they did not have air conditioning. Frank Schmidt knew that the caves stay nice and cool in the really hot summer months, so him and his friends and family would bring down some chairs and some tables and use this area as an actual living room. Joe Meyerhauser, the guy that had the friends in Hollywood, would actually host poker games in this room every Saturday night. And then I kind of pointed out the Outlaw gear after the Sesame Street room. You guys all saw it, right?
Yep.
So we do have a lot of different outlaw stories, but our best one is about the Pantano gang. So they stole $172,000 worth of gold from Wells Fargo. The sheriff chased them into Colossal Cave, but he decided instead of climbing all the way in, looking in all the different nooks and crannies, that he was just going to wait it out. What he did not know was that there was more than one exit. So, while he was waiting, the Pantano gang found that exit. They made their way to Wilcox, Arizona, went straight to the saloon, started talking, and the word got out. So the sheriff hears about it 2 weeks later. He decides to make his way to Wilcox. They have a big gunfight. 2 out of the 3 members did not survive. In the last one, they did give the option of he could either tell the sheriff where the gold really was hidden, or he'd go to prison. He thought he would make it out of prison alive, but he did not. So the story is that the gold is still hidden in here somewhere. We keep looking. We haven't had any luck yet. But if you guys come across it, just remember I'm your tour guide and I can show you how to get out.
Thanks for appreciating it as a sign.
Yeah. It's kind of the perfect spot to like hold your dog.
Totally. Yeah, you'll see that and then in this period of time. Stuff. The water's not one of them. We are now approaching our El Diablo staircase. So much like the domino staircase, some of these steps are a little bit misshapen.
Steep.
Also, taller folks, watch your head. Some of the cave does come down a little bit, so just take your time.
Calcite.
If you want. Oh. You know what? It's like one day they're all over the place, and then the next. Actually, funny story. One of my coworkers forgot to close and lock the basement yesterday, and when we got here this morning, the Coatis had a big party in there last night.
Well, time's getting short, and we gotta go, so we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember to hit the bell for notifications.